So as it stands right now, the road is not easy for Deontay Wilder. 33-0 with 32 KOs. He just beat Bermane Stiverne January 17, 2015, Showtime Championship Boxing. You got Wladimir Klitschko versus Bryant, Jennings, April 25th, 2015. I will be in the building, Madison Square Garden. That's going to be on HBO. The winner of that has the choice to fight Deontay Wilder or fight Tyson Fury. On the other end of things, you got the WBC, who has ordered Mike Perez and Alexander Povetkin to fight basically before May the 22nd, 2015. And the winner of that will take Bryant Jennings' place as being the new #1 contender for Deontay Wilder. So basically what I'm trying to say to you is, looking at the landscape and looking at the boxing landscape and looking at Deontay Wilder as a fighter and looking at that his most significant fight was Bermane Stiverne, if we think that was the test, if we think that was a test for him, then what we have coming up for him next in the next year and a half is going to determine whether he's going to be a great or not. Because let's just throw the names out there once again. Bryant Jennings. Now, he's going to have to fight 3 of these guys, at least in the next year or so, year and a half, maybe 2. Bryant Jennings, Wladimir Klitschko, Alexander Povetkin, Mike Perez, maybe Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, and I'm probably missing a couple of names. You got Antonio Tarver out there. You got Chris Arreola. You got maybe Carlos Takam, Amir Mansour, Steve Cunningham, Vojislav Glaskov. You know, so Andy Ruiz Jr., Anthony Joshua's coming up. You know, so I'm thinking to my David Hay lingering out there. I'm thinking to myself, well, how far does Deontay Wilder go? You know, we know he has the skill set somewhat, but even though you have to give him props, because me personally, I didn't have him beating Bermane Stiverne. Don't you start snoring. I didn't have him beating Bermane Stiverne. But now I'm thinking to myself, well, I have to give him credit and go by what I've seen from him. And I'm thinking, from what I've seen from him, can he match wits using that same jab and that same crazy style he was using with Wladimir Klitschko? Maybe he'll be able to get away with it with Bryant Jennings, but Bryant Jennings is more of a counterpuncher, and in my opinion, better than Bermane Stiverne. And then I think about Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is just totally disrespected over here in the States. For some reason, people just say he's just like not good. And I'm thinking to myself, he beat his last fighter left-handed. He's a heavyweight boxer. And he can moves, and he has punch variety from to be 6'9". So looking at, you know, maybe can he beat, I mean, I just don't think, you know, for one, I don't think he can beat Wladimir Klitschko. I just don't think it. He has a great chance with Bryant Jennings. He has a great chance with Chris Arreola. You know, maybe not so much with Antonio Tarver. Now, even though Antonio Tarver is considered to be a light heavyweight still, even though he's been fighting that cruiserweight and heavyweight for the longest, still, it's about styles. Styles make fights. But remember, this is just my own personal opinion. So, you know, basically the point of this video is to say that Alexander Povetkin, 28-1 with 20 KOs, is not a joke. Alexander Povetkin will most likely be taken. Well, it's closer, basically, than it was when I did my last video on it. So if you want to know more about Alexander Povetkin and Mike Perez as fighters, then go to my last video I did on this a couple of months ago. So Mike Perez, Alexander Povetkin is going to be taking place most likely in Moscow, somewhere like that. I'm going to be covering that fight live. It's hard sometimes to get the scoop on Alexander Povetkin because, for one, I don't speak his language, and secondly, you know, he's not in the news, you know, like as far as globally much about anything. So he's just a fighter who comes in there and literally just beats you down. And if you look at his resume is very credible and is way better than Deontay Wilder's. Let's just say that, you know, miles better than Deontay Wilder. So if let's say if Wladimir Klitschko doesn't fight, or Bryant Jennings don't fight Deontay Wilder, and let's say if the winner of Mike Perez, Alexander Povetkin, gets in, then I'm saying Povetkin is going to defeat Mike Perez. But let's say if it's Deontay Wilder versus Alexander Povetkin. Alexander Povetkin is not a Bermane Stiverne. You know, Alexander Povetkin is not a Malik Scott, a Nikolai Further. He is very good. Wladimir Klitschko had to hold him to death and hug him just to stop his offense. Because, see, he can fight on the outside and he can fight on the inside, but he throws bombs and he's precise. So, you know, you got to watch his fights to understand. What I'm going to do is, on my like page, link is right below. You got right below realcombatmedia.com website. Then you got my like page, the next link right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to post Alexander Povetkin's last his last good fight, which was against when he knocked out Carlos Takam, and then I'm post that nasty fight when he fought Wladimir Klitschko and just kept laying down on him. And I also post Bermane Stiverne versus Deontay Wilder too. So about 10 minutes, 20 minutes after this video is uploaded, you'll see, the links right on my like page. Please subscribe. T-Street Controversy on Twitter, T-Street Controversy on Instagram, T-Street Controversy on Vine, T-Street Controversy on Shots, T-Street Controversy Live. Please subscribe. I said it already.